If your TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice.
It is live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice on a Monday, July 21st, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Like I said, Real America's Voice all across the country. Glad you're in, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. It's going to be a great week. Going to be a great Monday night. Lots to talk about. Glad you're a part of the show. As always, make sure you follow us on social media at LFS6B. Make sure you follow Real America's Voice at Real AM Voice. Boys are all here. Slick's going to do sports. Rick Delgado's going to do the news. Paul Nolan's got some news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Mr. Nolan, I'll start with you. How was your weekend?
It was a fun-filled, star-studded weekend.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Really?
Star-studded.
Do
What does that mean?
expand.
Well, I went out like a rock star on Saturday, went around the boat all day. Then I went out to dinner. Then I went out for drinks after dinner. I did 3 things in one day. My rule of thumb is one thing in a
Would you
day.
sleep all day
That's it.
Sunday and all day today?
Nope.
No.
Sunday, I cooked up a storm.
Oh.
And
You didn't invite us?
I invited Katie
not.
J.
Oh, well,
nice.
yeah. Well,
And he came
he's a
over.
friend. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew you guys would say no, so I didn't bother.
No, I'm not him.
Oh, that
I'm
was
not
a joke.
him. I would have said yes.
My brother said on the way out, he goes to Katie J on the way out. He goes, "Hey, it was really nice meeting you, Slick Rick. You're my favorite."
Somehow I can believe that.
Did
Well,
he show up
that's good,
for
Paul. Where'd you go to dinner?
We went to a
Any place good?
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay.
If you're on Long Island, go to Palmer's, clean and
Oh, yeah.
good food,
heard
and
of
great service, and the food's always good, and it's very reasonably priced in on Long Island, which is a rarity.
Very rare.
I'm sorry.
What,
did
it
you-
only cost you $500?
There's a typo on my menu here. It says my burger is $38.
Yeah, I believe it. Well, that's filet mignon.
Yeah, but did you get fries with that?
Of course not. Who can
sweet
afford
potato
that?
fries?
Thanks to Obama plan.
I heard somebody on social media talking about they wanted to go to All American, and they said they drove by, and the line was to
We're still waiting on
Syosset.
that.
Thank God they said that, because every time I made
Paul's been promising this for
Oh,
like
my
10 years.
Yeah,
He is still.
Aaron's still
Aaron's
waiting.
still waiting too. So, Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
How was your weekend?
Fantastic.
What'd you do?
I went to Jones Beach. I was front row, Cyndi Lauper. Unbelievable. What a phenomenal
Was it
show.
a funeral?
No,
oh, no,
dude.
a show.
72 years old. She'd have made you look like
Live.
you look like you were 93. There, big guy. She was fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Good chops. Played fantastic. I had a couple people come up to me and recognize me from the show. It was great. My poor wife, man. What she puts up with going out with me now with the pictures, it's hysterical. But we had a good time, man. We had a good time. I was rocking it. I was ready to
Okay.
go, man.
How was her psoriasis?
Oh, Cindy's?
Yeah.
I think she's beat that, Rick. Okay. Yeah.
I was just checking because I always see
Okay.
the commercials. So
Yeah,
it's always
listen,
nice.
well, next, let me know when
it's
you
always
win
nice to get
Grammy Best New Artist, even if it was 1985, 40 years ago. Let me know.
Okay.
Big D over here.
right.
Yeah,
All right.
Come on.
Wow.
Well, no, I'm glad to hear that she still got it going on.
She was very, she sounded great. Audience was great. It was a beautiful night. Fantastic.
Sell out?
Seats were phenomenal. Just about, yeah, I would say. Up top in the poor seats, there was a few spots, but not much. You know? $50 a head.
What is he,
I mean,
Hunter
that's normally
Biden?
where I sit. What are you talking about, the poor seats?
That's where you. No, that's where you belong. That's another story.
What a
But yeah,
jerk.
up top, way up top. And
That's for the Mexican people who
Yeah.
clean.
I didn't
houses.
say that. You said that. Not me.
Yeah. Hunter
I'll
Biden,
co-sign.
whatever. Oh,
All
my
right,
goodness.
so you have any other tickets for Jones Beach this summer?
No,
Or
you know
Cyndi
what?
Lauper?
I wanted to see Sebastian Maniscalco's coming in, but I'm booked that
You're
night.
too famous?
And
You're booked?
What? No, yeah. And then Goo Goo Dolls are playing, who are very good too. I like the Goo Goo Dolls. I like to see them. They're not 90. They're like 60. Those guys. So not bad. They're my age
All
actually.
right, very good. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am good.
How was your? I mean, now it's just a hard follow up on these two.
Well, he
No,
ran
I
into
mean-
me this weekend. How can
Yeah,
you
I
beat
ran
that?
into this doofus. Walking
Doofus?
around. He actually
Who are you
wears.
talking to?
He has a T-shirt. He doesn't walk around all the time like this.
He owns a
Surprising.
T-shirt?
He actually owns a T-shirt.
Really?
Yes, it's
Wow.
a T-shirt of him, of Prince.
Of Prince.
but
Was it
it's
a tuxedo T-shirt?
No, it wasn't
That was a
tuxedo
Prince T-shirt.
It was a Prince T-shirt.
Worth a few bucks.
Okay, very good.
So I did that.
Don't tell me, was that the highlight
That
of
was
your
not
weekend?
that. No,
That could be the highlight of a
wasn't
lot of
my
people's
highlight.
weekends.
That wasn't the highlight of my weekend.
Okay.
I did other stuff. I had fun stuff. I did I enjoyed the outdoors. I jumped on my bike. I
Good
did
for you.
that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And then I went to the eye doctor. My first ever eye exam. First ever.
How'd you
Wow.
do? Pass?
Terrible.
Really?
I get glasses. These are just readers. Like I just wear them
Now you
because
need to-
I need to read stuff. But now they're telling me I need more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a little wake-up call. Now I got to go about figuring out what kind of glass to get. I don't want those.
Let me
What do you mean?
Let me put
These are
this to you in
beautiful.
cycling
Good
terms.
luck with
Yeah.
these.
You've crested the mountain, and now it's
on my
time
way
to
down.
head down the mountain
I don't want
with
these.
the rest of us.
This
All
guy,
right.
$1.99 drugstore readers over here.
That's right. Why would I spend more?
They sell man glasses though. You don't have to. You don't have to get the
I'm not
girl.
going to
wear
get
those.
his. Yeah,
don't
I
know.
don't get what she wears over here. No.
Yeah.
I'm getting men
here we go.
glasses.
All right, very good.
That,
Well,
that's
wow,
not-
you guys
that,
had
that was low. No,
guys had a good
you will pay for that now, my friend. That's low. You and your transgender benders on this.
well, what's going on here? Now we got to fight on the set.
he's
Yes.
upset.
That's not right. That's disrespectful. I'm not going to put up with that.
Slick's already had.
We tried to humble you a little after a 25-year-old was trying to get you to go home
True
with her.
story.
Well, he just thought, he comes in. He's like, oh,
Don't
I
add
got
to that
recognized everywhere. I got it going on
I
like
know, I know.
Parmesan. You know, it's like, what is that?
I think he said he had chicken parmesan.
That's exactly what I said. This guy's embellishing over here.
Well, Slick's already off to a hard start today.
All right.
And I notice he hasn't covered it already, so let me cover it.
Oh, the big upset at the British
Since
Open?
we're ready to have that talk that you told me you were going to have, you said, well, let me just remind everybody. Here it is from Friday at the American.
Oh, big deal. Any idiot could have picked this.
Run the clip.
Well, what do you mean? Any idiot could have picked this?
Nostradamus.
Well, let's listen to what you had to say there, Mr. Genius Sports Guy.
Well, let's go to Northern Ireland for the Open. Yeah, right on the way. Round 2 today. Scotty Scheffler leads everyone with a 2-day 10 under par. That's a $17 million purse in Port Rush. And we got Major League Baseball back in
I'd
action.
like to congratulate Scotty on winning the British Open.
Yeah, that was very good. Very nice. Up a little there. Yep.
No, man, I mean, it's over.
I knew it was
That's
about time.
my point.
Yeah, that's we did. Yes, absolutely.
He's going to win it.
Yeah, well, you're giving him the already given it
Yes,
to him.
that's what I'm saying. Congratulations on winning it. He's got a one-shot lead. He's not
Fitzpatrick's
going to
right
give it
there.
up.
Fitzpatrick's right there.
No,
We'll see.
it's
my
over.
goodness.
We'll talk on Monday.
I knew you were going to gloat.
We'll talk.
Well, here it is Monday. Let's talk, pal.
Okay. Well, all right, you were right about
I
that.
knew a gloat was going to come, but I didn't think it was
I
going to
wonder,
be
when do
footage
they get
of it.
politically correct and call it the Open?
Yeah.
It's the Open now. It's not the
Yes.
British Open. Huh? They can't make it. Because it was played in Ireland. Is that why? I mean, come on.
No, it's been called the Open for
I know, but you know,
forever. It's
But
been
we
called the
refer
Open
to it as the
Championship.
British Open. You know.
Well, that was maybe like 20 years ago.
Well, maybe it shows our age, but yeah, it could be.
But
I mean, Scotty is unbelievable. He's the hottest golfer there is. What do you win? He's on the way to getting a Grand Slam.
That's what it sounded like.
well, he's got one more to go, and
Yeah.
he's
on
if
the
he's in the field, it's
It's over. It's what
felt
it
pretty
is.
comfortable calling it on Friday because there was, even with a one-stroke lead at that point that he had, wasn't going to give it up.
Yeah, he got a little tight towards the end there. He had a nice big
Yeah,
lead.
I know he was only up by 7.
Yeah, then
instead of 8.
it got to 4 though, didn't it?
Yes, it got to 4.
Okay.
What I
Well,
noticed about
that's tight.
Scheffler is he doesn't hit it the longest, right? But he doesn't he's not the best at everything, but he's so good at everything else. Like he just seems his game just looks so clean.
He's about the best at everything.
Oh,
There's
he
not
is?
much he doesn't lead the
But he
tour
doesn't.
on.
But not he's not a bomber though. He doesn't hit the ball 350.
No, only like
360, right?
340, yeah.
You
He
may be
doesn't hit it
looking
like
at. I don't.
380.
But either way,
You're looking at
350.
this could be the next Tiger Woods. Not quite that level. That's Jordan.
Well,
of
that's what
course.
my brother was saying. It was a big
He could
bet.
be the next Tiger Woods, a B. I mean, again, Jordan, you can't compare to, just like you're never going to compare to a Tiger Woods. I don't believe.
Or like a
But
Gretzky.
He's closing, or a Gretzky, exactly. He's closing in though in that.
Well,
Tiger's first major to his 4th major was 1,197 days.
Yeah.
Scotty's first major to his 4th major
9.
yesterday, 1,197 days.
No way.
Wow.
Can't make that up.
Exact
No,
the
you
same.
cannot make that up. Play that number.
Exactly the
1197.
same.
That's crazy.
Well, I would love
So
to see.
he's on par then. He's on par. No pun intended.
So
And he's behaving better about Trump now, so we don't have to hate him. Is that right?
And I think somebody drives him to the
Scotty
matches
Scheffler,
now,
was he
right?
the guy who gave Trump a hard time
No,
a couple
that
years
was
ago?
Rory.
No, that was Rory. That was
Rory.
Damon's favorite
that was
golfer, Rory
No,
McIlroy.
Scotty's always been.
Although
Oh, good.
I think Rory's fallen in line too, though. Lately, he seems to be
Yes.
back on the wagon with President Trump. He's not
Yes,
being
he has.
such a pain
All
in the
right,
neck.
good. I'm
there.
a big Scheffler fan then
But,
since the beginning.
And Scheffler does have his own driver now, so somebody else opens the gate in the morning. for
Huge
him.
Me too.
Scheffler fan. I mean, he can't be a bigger Scheffler fan.
I know. me and
Scotty's
Paul
good,
were on it early.
and he's a good man.
Well, terrible news tonight to start, and I didn't really know him that well, other than his obviously his leading role on the Cosby Show. But just terrible report tonight that
Yeah.
Malcolm Jamal Warner has died.
Oh,
at 54 years old, I believe.
Yeah,
and it's a terrible story because he's on vacation supposedly.
And in Costa Rica.
With his family, and
a good kid.
Drowned.
He was a good kid, 54 years old. Man.
Wow.
And I guess they were vacationing in Costa Rica, swimming in the ocean. And he got caught up in some kind of overwhelming current. Now, I don't, usually when you get to these places, they'll tell you if there's a current to stay out of the water or stay away from this area, or they'll rope it off. Or I guess there was no such warnings because he got caught.
I don't know about Costa Rica
in a current. And according to local authorities, he died from asphyxia on Sunday. I guess they found his body the next day.
Oh, oof.
So just
a
a terrible, terrible story. Again, I didn't really follow him at all.
He was the lone son on the Cosby Show, right? And unfortunately, the Cosby Show took a bad turn with what Bill did. Nothing against the cast, but unfortunately, that show was a legendary show. Became a little tainted, in the public.
A little tainted, yeah. Well, and remember, he was like breaking barriers, so to speak, right? Like, I mean, he changed the kind of comedies we would see with black families. It was like such a well-to-do. It was just a good message show. And then Cosby really besmirched it with being a rapist.
Yeah,
rape thing.
That could kill things. Yeah,
no good.
It's a shame for the cast, though. It's no reflection on them, unfortunately.
That kind of reminds me of that. Do you have that story of the baseball player?
Which one?
The one who died saving those swimmers?
That was Friday. I didn't run that story because I didn't have time, but I did see that. He was a police officer, I believe, right? He was involved with some type of police.
Former pro.
He was a Baltimore Orioles. He pitched. He had a cup of coffee with them. He played minor league. He had a couple of short stint. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yep. Yeah. Forgot the gentleman's name, but
he saved the family, but in saving them, he got caught up in the undercurrent himself. He got swept out.
Wow,
that's right. Yeah, that was on Friday.
What a hero!
So it was terrible.
Cosby Show went off the air. It's hard to believe. 1992. Wow. Long time ago.
Man.
Malcolm Jamal Warner. Dead at 54.
Yep.
And man, thoughts and prayers out to his family that he's there on vacation. He was there on vacation with. Just a terrible story. So, all right, just getting started. We'll get into the news. I want to really dig into this Obama stuff that DNI released on Friday. Since we didn't have a ton of time at the warehouse to really dig in, we'll dig into some of it tonight. What should happen? We'll get to other news and sports, all live from Studio 6B on a Monday. Get the week started. Glad you're in. We're back right after this.
The guys who did Airplane, they did
Right.
not to be confused with the Smothers Brothers.
Right. Of course, you would never confuse them.
No, he would never do that. You guys want to hear my about my buddy Cindy Lauper I played golf with?
Sorry?
I played pitch and putt with Cindy Lauper and her husband.
You said that.
My son and
the actor.
His name's Thornton.
Yes, that's right.
He was in The Notebook. He was a bunch of Law and Orders. Nice guy, really nice guy. And Cindy came out and played golf with us, and she was a delight. And the person you saw on all the interviews with Lou Albano, that girl who talks like this, she is that person, as authentic as it gets. Yeah. And she was just nice. She was funny and nice. So, it was just pitch and putt. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and our kids were friends, and That was my brush with greatness.
Yeah, the great Cyndi Lauper. From born in Ozone Park, and she lived in Valley Stream as a kid, and then she lived in Connecticut for many years, and then she moved back. She lives in Midtown Manhattan now.
That's where we were. Their apartment on the Upper West Side of Manhattan was rent controlled, and you should have seen this apartment. I mean, like 20-foot ceilings, and they're paying like $1,200 a month. I'm like, really?
I've seen some of those rent control.
Like, how is this possible? He's like, I can't.
And they never give it up. They just pass it to family to family.
Yep.
Why not? You'd do it if you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had a house in Connecticut, with a nice humble home in Connecticut. Well, it's really nice.
Yeah, she's only worth like $50 million. I mean, that's but I mean, for that kind of an artist to have that kind of career,
I know you would think more.
She
had so many hits.
I don't know what she wrote and what she had rights to, and she wrote a lot of her own stuff. But I was surprised to hear that. I thought she'd be worth more. $50 million. I mean, look, it's a lot more than any of us are worth for sure. Well, maybe not Damon, but that's a lot of money. The great Harry Oates.
Chat. What's going on?
Oh, that's right. We're live in the chat. All of 30 seconds left before we got to go back in the air.
Good.
Dang. Sorry about that.
Did you guys see the story, upstate New York? The father, that's a brutal story. I can't even report on it.
Oh, that's a terrible story.
That is,
Lake George, that young girl, the 9-year-old.
Yeah.
That's sick. My wife and I was sick over that this morning.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday night. Getting a brand new week started. Hope you had a great weekend, everybody. Glad you're in on a Monday. Always appreciate you giving us a few hours of your weekday, 8 to 10, Monday through Friday, right here on Real America's Voice. And, of course, on Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays. You can hear us on 103.9 LI News Radio here in the New York metro area, Long Island, Suffolk County. Delgado's going to do some news. Paul Nolan's going to do some news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. But as we always do, let's start the night with sports. Sports is brought to you by our friend Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you shop at MyPillow and you're looking to save on whatever you put in your cart. Use promo code LFS6B at checkout, and it'll give you a great savings. Slick's got sports. What's going on, Slickster?
All right, big deal. Let's get to the scoreboard. Major League Baseball back in full swing now. First weekend back from the All-Star game. Here we are, Monday Night Baseball. Orioles 5-4 over the Guardians. Bottom of the fifth. And President Trump, well, he's got a little business going on with the Cleveland Guardians. I'll get to that story a little bit later. Pirates 3-0 over the Tigers. End of 5. Top of the 6th. Padres lead the Marlins 2-1. Knotted at 2. The Red Sox and the Phillies. Bottom of the 6th down in Philly. Nationals 8-5 over the Reds in D.C. End of 4. Top of the 5th. Yankees blanking the Blue Jays 1-0 up in Toronto. My CPA is up there at that game tonight. My accountant, Dave Quartz, my good man. Angels 4-0 over the Mets. Middle of the 4th in Citi Field. I did say City. Braves 5-2 over the Giants. Top of the 3rd. Bottom 2nd. White Sox blanking the Rays 3-0. No score Royals and Cubs in Wrigley. Top of the 2nd there. Middle of the 1st. Athletics and Rangers just getting underway there. No score. And Cardinals taking on the Rockies 8:40 out in Colorado. Astros are in Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks, 9:40 first pitch. The Red Hot Brewers taking on the Mariners out in Seattle, 9:40 as well. First pitch in L.A. Twins, the Minnesota Twins, that would be, at the Los Angeles Dodgers again, 10:10 first pitch way out west. And go get the big story over the weekend. Big D kind of already touched on the great win by Scotty Scheffler, of course. And Scotty Scheffler joins elite company with Jordan Spieth after the Open. Scheffler and Spieth now have two big things in common, being former Texas Longhorns and 3/4 the way to golf's career Grand Slam. This is Tyler Fertel of Sports Illustrated. With Scotty Scheffler's runaway win at the Open Championship in Northern Ireland, called by our own Big D here, our host, there are now two former Texas Longhorns only a major away from one of golf's most prestigious feats. On Sunday, Scheffler joined Jordan Spieth in completing 3 of 4 legs of the career Grand Slam. The career Grand Slam consists of winning all 4 of the sport's yearly major championships: the Masters Tournament, PGA, U.S. Open, and Open Championship. Only 6 male golfers have ever achieved it. Rory McIlroy, the newest one to join the club with his dramatic win at Augusta National Golf Club back in April.
Scotty's first chance will be at Shinnecock right here.
Wow.
Ooh, really?
How crazy is that?
That's where next year's U.S. Open is, at Shinnecock. So that'll be his first chance to also add the Grand Slam to his resume, which
it's just,
listen, at 29, just turned 29, you have to start playing out. If he plays like this until he's 40, I mean, Tiger won his last Masters at about 40, 43, 42?
Was it that Sunday to remember was he was 42 or 43?
So, I mean, can Scotty win 10 more?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt he can.
I think so, easily. I shouldn't say easily. It's not easy.
I mean, he's not going to have Tiger Woods problems, marital or personal or anything like that. I wouldn't suspect, given the way he talks. He gave one of the great interviews into the press conferences I've ever heard from a professional athlete on that level, talking about the game of golf and how it really does nothing to fulfill him in the deepest part of his
I
being.
saw that.
That the day that his golf interferes with his relationship with his wife or his son is the last day that he plays professional golf, he said.
I remember he said when his son was being born, he said he was going to drop right in mid-game. He'd walk right off the course and go to be with his wife.
He said, it doesn't fulfill me in my deepest at all. I'd rather be a great father than a great golfer. As much as I enjoy playing golf and I appreciate the opportunity, and I've worked since I was 2 or 3 years old to achieve and win these tournaments, it doesn't fulfill me as a human being and as a child of Christ. What does that is being a great father and a great husband in the relationship with my wife and my kids. So this is not a guy who's going to have those kind of issues. So, he could go down as he's going to go down as one of the greats of all time. It's just a matter of whether he gets to 15 to break Tiger's record and Jack at 18.
He's just about Hall of Fame already, but it's just a matter of time before he really takes it to the next level. No question about it. I have 2 more stories. I'll get to the next segment, Big D, with the Guardians and Commanders as the Commander-in-Chief looks to do something with those woke names that we'd love to see removed. And he's playing hardball, no pun intended. I'll get to that in the next sports segment. That's a wrap, Big D. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. 22 past the hour. We'll do some more sports. Brought to you by Mike Lindell. Let's do some headlines. Rick Delgado's got it. Brought to you by our friends at EternalLifeCoin.com. What's going on, Delgado?
Well, the greatest headlines in the world, Damon. I just want to remind you of that as we begin the week with some huge news. We'll get to the one about the criminal referrals against the Obama administration in the next segment. But I thought we'd start off with the son of the former president of Joe Robinette Biden. I don't know if you saw this, as Hunter Biden raged against Donald Trump, George Clooney, members of the Democratic Party, James Carville, Dave Axelrod. He cursed his way through an entire interview. Here he is threatening us with what it would be like if he became president. It's a 5-banger, Damon. Cut number 2. Check this out.
I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the president of El Salvador and say, you either send them back or I'm going to invade. It's a crime what they're doing. He's a dictator thug.
Bukele or Trump?
Both.
Yeah, so there you have it.
Wow.
By the way, the interview was painful. I got through like 12 minutes of clips of it.
How much did you have to give Aaron to do that?
That was the most charming he was in the whole thing.
Right.
That interview is 3 hours long, just so you know.
It's amazing. And it's just laden with curses.
And he leads that whole thing with saying, if I ran, and then he gives you every reason why no one would look at him
president
seriously
of
about
what?
running for anything.
Denny's on Highway 1.
And what's great, he doesn't know when the next presidential election is. 2, 4, or 3 years. He's not sure.
Cocaine's a hell of a job.
Yeah, exactly. Here's cut number 3, though, as he rages more on illegals and what he thinks they're actually here for. No, he's not a racist. Cut number 3. Check this out.
Well, am I not supposed to feel for someone? Am I going to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. You. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned?
Yeah.
How do you think you have food on your table?
Yeah.
Who do you think washes your dishes?
Yeah.
Who do you think does your garden? Who do you think is here by the sheer just grit and
What a
will that they
wordsmith.
figured out a way to get here because they thought that they could give themselves and their family a better chance. And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the criminals.
Obviously, all the political advisors have left the Biden sphere. Obviously, there's no more. They've all gone. They're just basically freewheeling it now. Obviously, I mean, that obviously has got to be what. I mean, there's clearly nobody around them that's advising them politically anymore. Because if there is, whoever this is should be fired. Because if they had anybody, David Axelrod, you can go through all of the advisors they used to have around them: Obama, Clinton, and Biden, from Carville to Bagala to Axelrod to Panetta. There's not one person who would have ever advised any of them that this was a good idea, and clearly it was not.
Yeah.
Well, it gets better.
It continues on, David.
They discussed his art career.
Come on,
Not only was there a
stop it.
Not only was there
it's fun.
was there a 10-banger, I think, on George Clooney, which I didn't include because that would have been too much work. But here's cut number 4.
Oh.
You're talking about political
Hold on, look at
pundits.
that. Time to go to break. 26 past the hour. Live from
See you next
Studio
segment.
6. I got to hit the break on time.
There's only 12.
Yeah,
So-
come on. He always cut his clips.
All right, when we come back, we'll do sports, then we'll do Paul, then we'll do sports, then we'll do Paul, then we'll do sports.
You walking off now, Delgado?
We're back right after this.
My coffee out, and it was burning hot. I forgot what it was, where we were, but you came after Slick, and it was funny, and I almost had hot coffee come out of my nose.
Yeah.
I had to.
I forgot exactly what it was, too.
Yeah, okay, piping hot coffee almost came out of my nose. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
There you go. I was just saying to Paul, I put a new box in there Thursday. It's gone already. Paul wants to try one.
Yep.
Are you really?
Sometimes I don't notice. Then I'll how you sit down, rest your arms on your leg. You got poison ivy in your neck. God, keep it up. Driving. Literally. Trying not to touch anything. Don't touch.
What's happening?
Hey, chat, live in the chat.
Let's get back to the chat.
Jethro TXK. Damon 100% right on the call for Scotty to win that event.
I mean, it's really not that impressive of a call.
No.
Well, you definitely are not the one to tell me that it's not, since you sat there and tried to make an argument for the guy who ended up in 51st place.
I want to make interesting TV.
Let's talk on Monday, you said.
They told me to keep the ratings up. That's what
you didn't. I mean, please. So we don't need to hear from you.
NBC didn't want to run away with him. They wanted me to keep the ratings up.
Is that what they said?
Yep.
You
can't
didn't
lay
even
that.
know what I was saying at the time I was saying it.
And when you first said it, you threw me off a little bit. Yeah.
When you first said it.
Because I was thinking, I got British
You're not even
Open
on
and-
to my brilliance
The
of
Open.
doing that.
Les Dorham sent
Friday.
you some cash over here.
No, that's why I've lasted all these years.
Thank you, Les. Rick Delgado, you going to get glasses like Slick Rick? Ha ha.
No.
Uh-oh.
Wow. He's
Les
very
Bulldorm, now you
triggered
did
about
it.
I'd love to have glasses like Slick that match what I'm wearing. I can't.
That's right.
I was thinking about getting
These
new
glasses
glasses.
are
live from Studio 6B. Let's go right to the audience here and see how they're feeling in the first 30 minutes of the show. John Giacicio says, Damon, you're not in tune. Let Delgado do his job and put the crackhead Hunter stupidity on display.
He wants more
John,
crack.
very good.
Looks like we might have a new host bucket for a promotion.
30 minutes past the hour. Let's do what John says. And let's go back to Rick Delgado with the greatest headlines in the world, brought to you by our friends at EternalLifeCoin.com. Delgado, you were saying?
Yes. Who was that just made that reference?
John on Facebook.
John on Facebook, thank you so much. And you are correct.
Checks in the mail.
I've got one more for you. Here is Hunter Biden talking about exactly the people Damon was referencing during his 3-hour-long F-Fest. Here he is taking shots at James Carville, who's known as quite the banger himself, and David Axelrod.
What did I just say?
4. What?
I just mention both of their names and said if either one of them was around, they would have told him no.
Yes.
Okay, good.
That's why I'm pointing this out. That's why it was so important for me to play this clip for you, Damon.
Okay, very good.
Because I was trying to add to your Scotty checklist.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome. Cut number 4.
Nostradamus, they say.
Yes, Damon, I say.
Me and James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of David Axelrod.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Oh, really?
Blasting those two. So I'm sure tomorrow we'll have a James Carville tirade against Hunter Biden.
With the same amount of F-bombs.
We'll be
Maybe
showcasing as well.
JPJ55 on Rumble. Big D, are you becoming a metrosexual with trying to match your glasses with your outfit?
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, it could be.
I'll get back to you.
Listen, it's got a nice look to it. Trust me.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
I think you actually have to wear shoes to be a metrosexual, though.
Okay, well, then I guess.
Bigfoot over here walking around. It's never going to happen for Big D, sorry.
With his uncut talons just sticking out.
Talons? He's not a bird.
Yuck.
Talons.
It's like a velociraptor tapping on the kitchen floor.
Well, that's just a
I'm sure
vicious
it is
lie. Why
That's
don't
a
you
corny
stick to
joke.
what you do and do the news instead of trying to make fun of my feet?
Try nailing that instead of his feet.
Yeah.
Can you picture him with like fancy glasses and like really fancy cowboy boots?
I can see that. Big deal.
Racing Banshee says, Damon, do you? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Thank you very much.
Beautifully.
That's the news. He does him. Here's the other big story, of course. The Department of
Only
Justice today confirmed that it has received the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard's criminal referral related to her bombshell claims that Obama and Obama-era officials manufactured and politicized intelligence to create the narrative that Russia was attempting to influence the 2016 presidential election in favor of Donald Trump. Gabbard released unclassified documents on Friday that reportedly showed the overwhelming evidence that then-President Barack Obama and his national security team laid the groundwork for what would be the years-long Trump-Russia collusion probe after Trump's win in 2016 over former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Let's go to some of this. You might remember this from a few years. Well, let's start off with Tulsi Gabbard, as a matter of fact. Here she is, cut number 12. She's talking to Maria Bartiromo yesterday about exactly what happened. Cut number 12. Check this out.
But there's no question in my mind that this intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered be published, which contained a manufactured intelligence document. It's worse than even politicization of intelligence. It was manufactured intelligence that sought to achieve President Obama and his team's objective, which was undermining President Trump's presidency and subverting the will of the American people. So yes, next week we will be releasing more detailed information about how exactly this took place and the extent to which this information was sought to be hidden from the American people, hidden from officials who would be in a position to do something about it. And that's really the point here that I think is most important, Maria, and you said it in your opening. Accountability is essential for the future of our country, for the American people to have any sense of trust in the integrity of our democratic republic. Accountability, action, prosecution, indictments for those who are responsible for trying to steal our democracy is essential for us to make sure that this never happens to our country again.
Yeah.
Well, let me just jump in there, because what she just said is the key thing. And here's the issue for the Republicans. We're really good at stern letters, good interviews, good letters, good this, good that, good PR. Real firm, especially when we're not in power. But on this one, if you're going to get everybody riled up, and not Tulsi because she just did her job, but everybody else, we better see somebody in handcuffs. And then listen.
And you're not hopeful.
It's not going to be Obama. Okay, anybody who thinks that, I see reports today, DOJ prepping to arrest Obama. I mean, come on, please. First of all, the Supreme Court, as we know, just ruled on presidential immunity and what falls under the president doing their job, whether you like it or not, for Trump. So that would be your starting point to have to get around, number one. But number two, we know that's come on. I mean, we all hope, but I just think but we got to see somebody right below him. When you look at Brennan, Clapper, Comey, Clinton, all of the other ones who are involved with FISA, with hiding that Danchenko was the key to the Fusion GPS, all of that. Ben Rhodes, the other nitwit who was in there with Biden, what's his name? He was over there. Can't think of his name now. He was all part of the crew too. They all lied about Clinton and the emails, and there's more information out about that today. But for the Republicans, we better see something, or that's going to continue to be your legacy is, you could rile people up and then nothing happens. And on this, what Tulsi just said there to Maria at the end is the key thing. If there's no accountability for this from somebody, what is there ever going to be accountability for?
No. And this on top of what just happened with the Epstein files. They need a win in the PR department here. They need an arrest. They need somebody. And it's not going to be Clinton either. And it's not going to go even as high as people like, if it got to Comey, I would be thrilled. That guy deserves the rest of his life in jail. I mean, he's as much of a traitor as there is. Someone in the chat said Newlands. She's on that list. There's so many people at that second tier who are above the law, who should be arrested, made an example of, and I don't care who says it's, political retribution or it's Trump just playing tit for tat. His life was run through the coals. They made up 1 million fake cases. They had endless fake felonies. The whole thing has been a sham. I need somebody, and I don't think it goes as high as Cole. I need somebody, and I need, I feel like Longshanks, and I want his head on a plate. Somebody's got it. I'm
Mr. Glass half full. The problem, this is what stuck out to me. Is that when she was reporting this and the things that they've released, it says that Obama ordered it to be pulled back. That's his problem. When you say, he's got presidential immunity, he doesn't have presidential immunity about that because that was written down. And that's the part that gets me. Presidents are supposed to, you hear about, plausible deniability, right? Usually your underlings say, okay, you know what? We're not going to tell him this part. We're just going to say this part so he has plausible deniability. Obama doesn't have that in this. He's the lead. He's the one who ordered that intelligence back.
How is that
to be rewritten.
How does that not fall within his job, though?
Because the intelligence was the
commander-in-chief. He's the end-all, be-all.
To go ahead and manufacture a fake one?
You may not like it, but how does that not fall under?
It doesn't seem like it's covered. Regardless, my issue is, why did they write it down? Was it because they were incompetent and they wrote it down? Or were they looking ahead going, if this comes out, I'm not going down and he's skating on us. You know what I mean? Because all these guys, notice the one name that isn't in there, and a few people have pointed this out, is James Clapper. His name has not been mentioned. Why? Because they think maybe Clapper's working with them.
Well, that's interesting.
On the other side. Basically saying, here, this is my get out of jail free card. I'll give you what you need.
I like what you're cooking right now.
Right. And then you hear this from.
I don't think he's going to get away with it, though. I think Obama's going to be Teflon Don.
I think eventually maybe. But he should be dragged through the mud.
Totally.
He should be dragged through the mud. And according to General Flynn, cut number 10, he thinks raids are definitely on order.
This was him on Banner today in the car?
No, this was him on Benny Johnson. Here's cut number 10. Check it out.
I think that all of these people that are involved, starting with Obama on down, they all ought to have their passports revoked. And people don't need to be checking private airplanes and private airfields for anybody trying to abscond the country and get the heck out of Dodge here. So that's number one. I do think that just as was done to President Trump when they raided his home at Mar-a-Lago, because they thought that there was, and they planted evidence there in that case. But I do think that what the DOJ should be considering, if not getting ready to conduct, is a raid of Barack Obama's home up there at Kalorama in Washington, D.C., where he's been since he physically left the White House. He's been running the White House, all during the Biden regime. And I do think that there's some other places that need to be raided where there are likely, a lot of evidence, a lot of receipts, so to speak, in many of these people that are part of the Obama White House as well as the Biden White House. I mean,
yeah. So there's General Flynn. He would know something about,
He just seems like if he had a baseball bat and saw one of them, he would just start bashing heads. Like,
I mean, you think these people have left this stuff lying around for all these years? After they went into Mar-a-Lago to try to find stuff so they could destroy it?
Didn't they say that they found that big, when they were moving the FBI offices, they found that hidden room with all that, all the dirt in there, and supposedly that's opening stuff up. In fact, I believe, as I understand it, Kash Patel let that slip out on the Rogan podcast that he wasn't supposed to talk about it, but apparently there is a treasure trove of more details to come. So
but we don't know in relation to what it is, though. He didn't say it's in relation to this case. He just said there's a room, right? Or it's not specific to any case.
It was all about the Russia stuff. There was evidence down that path. And I know Matt Taibbi's doing a really nice piece on it right now. I've been following him and his work on it. So
I mean, again, if you watched this show in 2016, in the beginning of 2017. I mean, we were talking about, at the time, even in the media themselves, their own reporting.
Yeah.
The New York Times, McClatchy, Heat Street, some of these publications aren't even around anymore. These wire services that were reporting. That's why when Mark Levin put this all together, he was the first one out and put it all together. People were like this right-wing conspiracy radio host making up conspiracy theories. He was reporting news stories that were already made public. Headline, New York Times, on Inauguration Day of Trump's first term. Wiretapped. Was in the headline, wiretapped. And then they went and changed it like a week later. But that headline, I'll bet if you search it, January 20th, 2017, New York Times headline, you can find it. I mean, it was all public information. Nobody wanted to believe it or put it all together. Back then, we knew what was going on and that Obama was the tip of the spear back then. All right, we'll see if we can find that headline. And we'll talk more about this when we get back. More sports, Paul Nolan's news coming up right after this.
Chat live in the chat.
I'd like to see the chat.
Well, I found a New York Post article about that very headline.
Yeah, we knew it was trash in Jump Street, but like this is crazy. Like to believe that Obama's going to get locked up, he's so far above the law. Mike Sand in the chat. What's up, my friend? Moon Pie, Pamela.
Starbucks coffee, Big D. That's a good coffee.
Ticked off. Good to see you in here as always. Marina Miller.
Wait, in the YouTube chat, Paul?
Yeah, I got YouTube.
The YouTubes. Mary Lynn Schwoob. Lonnie Berkey. We got our girlfriend Moon Pie. I believe it's a girl.
We got Sandra. Oh, I got to make a call here. I hope this is okay. Yo, what's happening?
Rock Lick Ranch. How about them Reds? Oh, you're breaking my
All right,
shoes.
I'm on the air.
Rock Lick, well, it was 2
I
out of
took
3.
the call in case. No, I can't trust you to do it. I feel like Chevy Chase when.
Patty Jam Cat. Eyes on Heaven.
I'm just glad I
Chris
thought maybe
D.
Mom because of
Chris
the doctor
D, what's
today,
going
so
on?
that's why I took it. All right.
Sue Stable Barrow.
All right,
See
cool.
her. Tracy Morgan.
Okay.
Don't go to the next game. Monroe. Ruby Ivy.
We got Gary S.
Troy
Tracy
Malone.
Morgan. Where's New Jersey, girl? What's going on over here?
It was Rick Amorati. Monroe. I don't see any of you guys in here. Occasionally I see Paul in here.
Andrea Wade leverages the game. The more they hold, the more they sweat. That's what I'm talking about over there.
Clifford Blake. Damon, how long did you study Constitution law? Clifford
How long what?
Clifford Blake is asking, Damon, how long did you study Constitution law?
Let's hope your lips to God's ears, Jason Ford. Papa Nolan, it's going down, not now.
You know what? Of all people, I think Clinton's going to escape
Oh, of course he will.
because she wasn't in government.
See, to me, her behind bars would be wonderful.
That'd be
No, it would be
poetic
But
justice.
in terms of this,
Sharing a cell with
it's,
Ghislaine Maxwell.
It's she tried to fucking dirty him up. Okay,
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday, July 21st. Brand new week. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's is going to do some more headlines. Paul Nolan's got some news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Mr. Nolan, what's going on?
Well, Tulsi had a busy day. I'm reading from the Epic Times here, but I still think that and Just the News are my two favorite sources. So more than 243,000 pages of files related to the 1968 killing of civil rights legend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. were declassified and released on July 21st, as Tulsi Gabbard had, like we said, a very busy day today. So the release follows President Trump's January executive order mandating the release of the documents long sealed by intelligence agencies related to the assassinations of King, former President John F. Kennedy, and his brother, Senator Robert F. Kennedy. Records about the other two killings were released earlier this year, as we know. And relatives of the civil rights icon who were given 2 weeks to review the information before it was released, according to the statement from the National Archives. King's niece expressed gratitude to the president and Attorney General Pam Bondi for their roles in playing such a secure and respectful release of the files. So let's hope people wake up a little bit to see how disgusting the intelligence community has had a hold on politics globally. So this, to me, was one of those stories that
Is there something that people are hoping to get out of this? Obviously JFK, there was, I mean, kind of follow that. What were people hoping to see, or what?
I can't speak for people. I can speak for me. I want people to see how unchecked, unregulated, and completely devoid of any moral fiber the intelligence alphabet agencies have been, since their inception in, I believe it was 47 or 48. They got progressively worse. So to me, I don't think a lone gunman makes any sense. To anyone believe that Kennedy was not assassinated by a rogue government, I think is just childish and naive, to say the least. So,
then on the MLK, what do people hope comes out of this?
I think it's all in the same vein, in my opinion. They were all
like who killed them. Like, was it the story we think?
Yeah, and I think that every narrative we were fed, we believed, because no one thought in the right mind that the news back in there were Walter Cronkite, and people would lie to you. They believed journalism was an honorable, noble field, and no one would ever thought we'd have Pravda-style propaganda in America. But They had Operation Mockingbird, and they had a really clear-cut agenda for to keep war machines rolling, to keep the money system going their way. And I think that they needed the right players to play ball, and we saw what happened. JFK was taking a run at the money system, was great, a U.S. Treasury note, and 5 months later he was popped, and next thing you know, that reversal of the Federal Reserve note was right back on course with Lyndon Johnson, and then 3 years later, as we know, we come off the gold standard, and I believe everything we see is really about the money. Control of the currency, and then who controls that controls everything. These guys have unlimited think tanks, resources, and agendas. They don't go by a willy-nilly plan. So I think that JFK, RFK, Martin Luther King, I believe all of these guys were major disruptors to their agenda, and I'm really hoping that some of this gets exposed so people start to realize everything they thought they knew throughout history was just his story, and we were all bamboozled for decades.
Well, I don't know how you go through 232,000 pages this quickly, but there's somebody who tonight is out. I just did a quick search. MLK files are out, fully declassified from the FBI's own records. What they reveal is a state-sanctioned operation to destroy a man preaching nonviolence with wiretaps, blackmail, and psychological warfare. And then he has about...
Did you not know about that? That they...
18 points here. You want me to go through these, Paul? And you could probably expand on some of these.
Yeah, he was...
the FBI... I'm sorry.
No, forgive me. Go, please.
The FBI labeled King a wholehearted Marxist who believed in communism but hid it because he was a minister. That's number one. Number two, they went after Stanley Levinson, King's close advisor and former Communist Party member, saying he ghost-wrote speeches and controlled messaging. 3, King's hotel rooms, phones, and meetings were wiretapped for years, not to stop violence, but to catch him in compromising moments.
True.
4, reports detailed group sex, affairs, illegitimate children, even an alleged rape his friend committed while King looked on and laughed. The FBI didn't verify most of it. They documented it to use it. 6, internal files describe efforts to neutralize King, not just discredit, but neutralize. The Bureau created entire operations to feed this dirt to donors, the media, and other religious leaders. 8, they proposed replacing him with a more acceptable black leader.
What?
9.
What?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
I'm just telling you what this is what the guy wrote up about this.
Okay,
I
well,
mean, this could all be false for all I know. I'm just giving you...
Half of it sounds like it is.
Well, it's just a weird thing to say. Okay, you know what? We can have a black leader. We got to replace this one. He's
Malcolm
a little
X?
off the map.
Yeah.
Let's get somebody
Malcolm
who's more
X, yeah.
Well,
that we can control.
Well, that's exactly what it was. They wanted someone who was a little more pliable.
Right.
Right.
Like
I just find it odd that
That they would put it in print.
would they put it? But it makes it sound like, well, we got him and we thought we could control him. Now he's gone off the reservation. It makes it sound like they created him first, and then they're like, what's our problem here with this guy?
Oh, like a mad scientist
You know what I mean?
robot thing, yeah.
King's opposition to the Vietnam War was labeled Soviet-aligned, not because of evidence, because it threatened the regime.
That's well documented.
They sent him an anonymous letter urging him to commit suicide. You are done. There's only one thing left for you to do, it says, quote unquote. I have no idea if that's true.
Wow.
I have read that.
They tracked and tried to sabotage his Nobel Peace Prize nomination. They ran surveillance from 62 to 68 across agencies with full DOJ and Hoover sign-off. FBI agents leaked filth to churches and tried to split MLK from his base. So there's a whole bunch of stuff here.
Yeah, he was under constant assault as well. So
What's also caught my attention is one of the first 2 or 3 things that Damon read there is that basically they were wiretapping his hotel rooms and his phones, and they were catching him in all these crimes, and they wanted to stop him. Why don't you just arrest him if these are crimes?
Well, he was a
because it was probably BS.
He was a philanderer. It's hard to deny that, and they wanted to use that leverage against him to shut up, essentially. And he really wouldn't shut up. He didn't
Yeah,
care.
but I'm talking about the rape thing that he's standing there laughing. I'm sorry, but that's enough to kind of arrest you.
Sure.
But that could be like another one of those stories, the wrap-up smear. You pump out a story, you repeat it over and over, and people believe it. I just can't picture a man of God doing that. But
no.
Rich Barris, the People's Pundit. A lot of people know on this show. At the very least, the MLK files are disturbing simply because of the amount of time and money the Fed spent spying on and following a guy like this. Go investigate real criminals instead of bugging a man having an affair for blackmail.
Yep.
True.
So,
good point.
So, yeah, 232,000 pages released by
232,000.
Tulsi. So, what else, Paul?
I'm going to take one of the speed reading courses so I can get through it tomorrow.
Man, I don't know how anybody goes through that.
Do you
That's
go
crazy.
From what I understand, they use AI. You put in key terms, it'll search it all out and pull it for you.
I know, but at
Cuts
some
it down
point,
to 10 pages.
Yeah.
230 something thousand pages. Well,
Good grief.
I guess there was a couple headlines here. I just figured I would. We don't have a lot of time, but if you want to get into,
Well, actually, hold those. Let's we'll hit the break. Let's go to hour 2. We'll come back. Paul can give us a couple more headlines. We'll do sports with Slick. Hour 1 in the books on a Monday, July 21st. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. More to do in hour 2. Obama's real legacy comes into focus. That tonight from JB Shark over at the American Thinker. If I have some time, I'll get into that. Live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
That started eating the pizza, right?
Aaron, give me a little sound on here. Let me hear. I want to see
I
what
only had
Victor
2
Davis
slices.
Hansen has to say here.
That I have.
We knew this was filled with corrupt intentions, and these findings were probably skewed. Victor, this really isn't surprising to us, but tell me your reaction to what we've now learned, given what Tulsi Gabbard has declassified and these 2 different criminal referrals, one from the CIA director and one from the director of the DNI.
Well, I think it's pretty clear they're going to have written evidence and probably testimonials from these so-called great intelligence authorities at the level below Clapper and Brennan. And that's going to be damning. And the only mystery, Laura, is whether Barack Obama will say that Clapper and Brennan overread the assessment and misled him, or whether Clapper and Brennan say that Obama misled them, but otherwise everything is pretty clear. The other problem is none of these people have any credibility. James Comey pled ignorance, amnesia 245 times under oath to the House Intelligence Committee. He leaked a confidential conversation with Donald Trump that he memorialized to the New York Times via a third party. Clapper, remember, he lied under oath to Congress, and he said that the NSA did not spy on people. Then when he was caught, he said it was the least untruthful answer he could give. Brennan lied twice. He said that the NSA didn't spy on people, lie. He said that the CIA didn't tap in to Senate staffer computers. That was a lie. Both of them were co-architects, let's not forget, of the 51 intelligence authorities. So you could really say, as a historian, a historical period, they affected the outcome one way or the other of the 2016 election and maybe the 2020, because they leaked that false narrative of Donald Trump colluding with the Russians to manufacture Hunter's laptop right before the second debate and to arm Joe Biden to go in there and lie to the American people that his son's laptop was a product of Russian and Trump collusion. So they've got a long record of no credibility, and I don't think they're going to be convincing in any excuse or apology they give.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Succinct.
Super
Did the
chat.
audience get to hear that?
Drag Black, if I can get that in. Sorry, guys. $10. Haven't you guys ever heard that Rosa Parks was a replacement of another civil rights activist because she got pregnant at 15? She was never just a normal person. She was part of a protest group. Drag Blacker, $10. Weighing in on Rosa Parks. Thank you, Drag Blacker. Super chat on
If your television sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B.
All right, it is live from Studio 6B, Hour 2 on a Monday, July 21st, Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick's going to do some more sports. Rick Delgado's got more headlines. Paul Nolan's got some more news coming up here in a second. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Glad you're in. Hour 2. Thanks for giving us a few hours of your night. Make sure you follow us on our social media at LFS6B. And make sure you head over to livefromstudio6b.com. We'll give some points away this week to all of the active members in the chat who are signed up over at livefromstudio6b.com to our 6B front row, which is absolutely free to sign up to our loyalty program where you can earn points just for being active in the chat. And during the week, we'll give points away and you can use it towards free merch over at livefromstudio6b.com. All right, lots to get to. We'll do some sports here in a second, but Paul was doing some headlines. He only got to a few there. So, Paul, what else is on your radar?
This is from Just the News. Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. has announced that as of August 30th, it will no longer be providing prescriptions for gender-affirming medications. The hospital's recently posted on its website stating the decision was made in light of escalating legal and regulatory risks and that it will impact the facility's providers and the families it serves. In a quote, they said, mental health and other support services for the LGBT patient remains available. You're always welcome at Children's National for your medical needs. The hospital does not perform gender transitioning surgery for anyone under the age of 18 anymore, and the gender development program does not provide hormone therapy to children prior to the start of puberty, and parental consent is required for people who want the gender-affirming medical care for minors in the district. So this is, to me, a good step in the right direction of the lunacy. We watch the way they poison these kids. They get a customer for life. You know, these kids end up being addicted to the medical system forever, and it's worth like $100,000 a month to each doctor. But on July 9th, the Justice Department sent more than 20 subpoenas to doctors and clinics who are involved in medical transgender procedures for minors. The agency also said it took time in the investigation into such procedures that would include looking into healthcare fraud, false statements, and more. So this was a big money-making sham. They didn't care what cost to these children who had, mental issues, and we know how being a teenager was a tough go as a kid. And they preyed on them, in my opinion. And this lunacy hopefully will, kind of go the way of the dodo bird, like the way the cutting did, the way the emo fad went. Let's hope that this is just one of those. Let's hope we just can move on from this lunacy. So that's it for now. I got a couple of those stories. We could do them in the second.
All right, very good, Paul. 3 minutes past the hour. Let's do some sports. Then we'll get into everybody's telling me to listen to Mike Davis. I heard Mike Davis. Mike Davis is brilliant. I get what Mike Davis is saying. We'll play the clip here in a second when it comes to Obama. I just don't know that I agree, but we'll play it and see what everybody else thinks. Let's do some sports, though. Slick's got it. Sports is brought to you by our friend Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slickster, what's going on?
Well, Big D, brother of late NFL player turned war hero Pat Tillman, jailed in California post office crash. Kevin Tillman said his brother Richard Tillman had suffered severe mental health problems in full view of the public. This is Dennis Romero of NBC News. The family of NFL player turned war hero Pat Tillman acknowledged Monday that his brother Richard Tillman was arrested and accused of driving into a California post office Sunday. No one was injured in the collision at 2:30 a.m. in San Jose, but the crash damaged the building and may have destroyed some mail, San Jose Fire Battalion Chief Josh Staley said. Richard Tillman, 44, of San Jose, was being held in lieu of $60,000 bail after his arrest Sunday, according to Santa Clara County inmate records. San Jose police said he was arrested on suspicion of arson. Fire officials said the collision appeared to have sparked a blaze at the post office that was knocked down about 90 minutes after the first reports of the crash. In a statement to NBC Bay Area on behalf of the Tillman family, Kevin Tillman acknowledged the suspect is his brother, Richard Tillman. The statement expressed relief that no one was injured and said Richard Tillman had been suffering from mental health problems. To be clear, it's no secret that Richard has been battling severe mental health issues for many years. Kevin Tillman said, noting that his brother's issues have been on display for anyone to witness via his live streams. Unfortunately, securing the proper care and support for him has proven incredibly difficult, or rather impossible, Kevin Tillman said. As a result, none of this is as shocking as it should be. Richard Tillman was scheduled to be in court for the matter Wednesday. It's not clear whether he has legal counsel for the case. The Pat Tillman Foundation did not respond to requests for comment. Last week, Los Angeles firefighter Dave Walters said firefighter paramedic Aaron Regan accepted the Pat Tillman Award, ironically, for service at ESPN's 2025 ESPYs at the Dolby Theater in L.A. The great Pat Tillman, of course, remember what a hero he was and one of the greatest patriots to ever live, right?
Rockstar.
Left the NFL, left a lifestyle of rock star and great lush, and went out and fought for our country. He's amazing. So sad to hear that story about his brother. Really heartbreaking. Yeah. I hope he gets some help. And, I'm sure it was just one of those things, just mental illness. And, I don't know what he was thinking, but I don't know. I lose my brother through something like that. I don't know that I ever recover from that either, to be quite frank, gentlemen. Guardians dismiss Trump's demand to drop woke name. Commanders are silent. The president is on a warpath, no pun intended, on not only the Commanders, but not only the Guardians, but the Commanders as well. He's going after both teams. In fact, I got another story that I'll run next segment where he's actually looking at holding up rights for the new Washington, Commanders, if you will, stadium, where, they're going to build it in D.C., and I think Trump has to sign up, or the federal government has to sign off on a few things there. So we shall see.
He's going for some scalps.
He's going for some scalps, exactly, Eric. Guardians dismissed Trump's demand to drop woke name, and this is Warner Todd Houston of Breitbart. The Cleveland Guardians are rejecting President Donald Trump's suggestion that they change their name and mascot back to the Cleveland Indians. Still, the Washington Commanders and the NFL have remained silent over the president's demand they change their name back to Redskins. On Sunday, the president took to his Truth Social account to call for the two teams to revert to their previous names before the rise of wokeness led to the jettisoning of their Native American names and imagery. The Washington whatevers should immediately change their name back to the Washington Redskins football team, he wrote. There was a big clamoring for this. Likewise, the Cleveland Indians, one of the 6 original baseball teams with a storied past, our great Indian people in massive numbers want this to happen. Their heritage and prestige is systemically being taken away from them. Times are different now than they were 3 or 4 years ago. Isn't that the truth? We are a country of passion and common sense. Owners get it done. So order from the president. Since the president has posted his desires to see pro sports ditch the woke and proudly support the Native American community, the two teams most involved in the issue have had very different responses. The Cleveland Guardians, for instance, were dismissive of Trump's exhortations on Sunday. Guardians president of baseball operations Chris Antonetti said he and the team were uninterested in reverting to their previous name. We've gotten the opportunity to build the brand as the Guardians over the last 4 years. How's that worked out for them anyway? I'd love to know. Trump has had a close relationship with the formerly Cleveland Indians. He has been a big supporter of Cleveland and even attempted to buy the team in 1983. I wish he did, although the deal was scuttled. And he has been adamantly against the name change from the Indians to the Guardians since the beginning. We're going to see. The NFL team in Washington, D.C., though, has had a very different response to the president, or rather no response at all for its part. The Washington Commanders have yet to make any comment at all on the president's plea to go back to being the Redskins.
So who dismissed it? The Indians?
The Indians dismissed it, correct, and then the Redskins have just been non-responsive. However, they have a stadium deal that
they've been non-responsive on the field too. So
well, that's true too. Well, we'll see. They got a good quarterback. They had a little bit of a run last year.
Yeah, they're on their way.
Better than Dallas.
But they're in a little contract dispute with their star quarterback. Yeah. So
it's true, they did better than Dallas.
Oh my God! You believe there's a story on Breitbart? Tyler Smith is saying the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. I mean, why do they do this stuff? I just sent it to my friend. I says, Pete, why?
I saw Jerry giving the State of the Cowboys interview. I think today.
From where? From the polls?
No, he was giving the State of the Cowboys address. I saw Jerry live today.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
I heard a little bit of it.
Yeah, somehow I just happened to miss that today, being busy.
Let's hurry up here. I got to get to the strip club.
I got to get to the strip club. Big D likes the polls, so do I. I like a different kind of poll, though. That's a wrap in sports.
All right, sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Here's Mike Davis on Obama and whether he has immunity, and we'll talk about it when we get back.
He might be able to claim presidential immunity for his actions while he was the president of the United States, and they'll have to litigate that, right? It's unclear whether he'll ultimately get presidential immunity for this, but I'll tell you this, it's an ongoing criminal conspiracy, and presidential immunity covers his actions while he's the president of the United States. They don't cover his actions when he's the former president of the United States and when he's participating in the cover-up of this conspiracy, then he doesn't have presidential immunity.
Can you explain what the statute of limitations is here?
Okay, so we can just that. I guess that's the main thing that people are referencing, and I just think that's while it might be. Well, I think obviously Mike knows. He's brilliant, but I think the majority of what we're focused on happened while he was president. And I mean, if someone's going to make the case that the DOJ is going to try to go in and decipher and parse what was under his 4 years and what he possibly could have been doing as far as covering up after he left, that just seems like a gray area as wide as the ocean. It would seem to me that you have much more direct evidence of what they did in that room when they came in and said, no, Russia didn't have the capability or intent to do this, and everything that happened there, than trying to find a case once he left office. But, I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Delgado?
Again, it's that last month where he deliberately goes in. They give him the briefing. He doesn't like what they found because he has his own agenda, and he orders them to change it all.
Right, but that's during his term.
Right,
I'm saying, what do you think about the idea of what Davis is saying as far as he's going to be covered in his 4 years, but the ongoing part afterwards?
Well, and then when he leaves the White House, like they said, he gets that residence right in D.C., and so we're to assume that he has no contacts within the government he just left. Of course, he's got Obamaites all over that place that are just waiting for him to say, hey, you know what, Barack wants you guys to do this. Make sure if any of this comes around, you guys are taking care of it. Make sure you hide this. Make sure you do that. And of course, what did that lead? It led to years of Trump's first presidency being disrupted, having to fight off all these false allegations, all this nonsense. You have the media all in on it as well. But what do we get from President Trump in 2019? He says he found them all. What? And I know we'd love to see raids on Obama's house and everybody else's, but let's face it, you're probably right, Damon, that they're probably not walking around with bags full of documents. But then again, they might not need them. Cut number 9. Trump says it all back in 2019. Cut number 9.
I think in light of all of the things going on, and you know what I mean by that, the fake news, the Comeys of the world, all of the bad things that went on, it's called the swamp. And you know what happened? And you know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp. I caught them all. Let's see what happens. Nobody else could have done that but me. I caught all of this corruption that was going on, and nobody else could have done it.
Yeah, so maybe he has it all. They don't have to go house hunting. And that's part of what Tulsi Gabbard is putting out there.
13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. More to do. We're back right after this.
Chat live in the chat. Tempered Wilson with a $2 Rumble rant. How about instead of UFC at the White House, we see treason dealt with publicly? Put gallows in Obama's guillotines and use properly. All right, that's something.
The only way you're going to get anybody like Obama is you would have to literally charge treason or seditious conspiracy.
Yeah.
And while I agree it would be appropriate, if you're holding your breath for them to do that, I think you're going to be holding your breath for a long time.
Well, I'm not going to hold my breath. But I don't think treason is covered under presidential immunity.
It may not be, but you're not going to get it charged either. That's my point.
I don't know. Glass half full.
Right, which always leads to your glass empty and disappointed.
First, you got to make sure you actually have a glass.
At least you got something to drink.
What'd you say, Fran?
First, you got to make sure you actually have a glass.
Have a glass, yeah.
Or we could use a mug. A baby mug.
Damon is a Democrat. No, Damon is realistic, Robert. Get your head out of the clouds, pal.
Yeah, you're not candy coating the news enough for these people tonight.
Yeah. Come join us in reality.
Like I said, I think the one who skates here, believe it or not, is probably Hillary. Because she wasn't in government at that point.
Who doesn't think they all skate? Put a 1 if you think you're... Here, let's just do a simple
I don't think
poll.
they all skate at all. Definitely not.
Okay.
I think Brennan's really got a problem. Comey's already lawyered up. They know what's coming. I hope they get the full brunt of the justice system brought down on their heads. Let them deal with it.
I hope you're right.
And again, if they put that, it sounds like they put it in writing that Obama ordered it.
Yeah, I didn't even finish saying it, and the ones are piling in here. They all skate.
They screwed them.
Let's hope we're wrong. I'll never be happy to be wrong. The track record is not good, though.
Genuine. Got to get a trophy.
What did John Solomon say to us 2 weeks ago? If he's going to appoint a special prosecutor for the long 10-year conspiracy that Kash Patel supposedly put together, it would have to happen in 2 weeks. That's the end of this week. All right, sound like the blues on a Monday. If you're stressed out about back taxes, maybe you missed the April 15th deadline or your books are just a mess, well, don't wait. The IRS is cracking down. Penalties add up fast, 5% per month, up to 25% just for not filing. But there is help. Tax Network USA can take the burden off your shoulders and stop the spiral before it gets worse. They've helped thousands of Americans, whether you're an employee, a small business owner, or you haven't filed in years. Maybe you have messy books, no problem. They've seen it all, and they know exactly how to clean it up. With direct access to powerful IRS programs and expert negotiators that'll be on your side, Tax Network USA knows how to win. And that's the most important thing. You get a free consultation, and if you qualify, they may even be able to reduce or eliminate what you owe. More importantly, they'll help protect you from wage garnishments and or bank levies. So don't wait until the next IRS letter shows up. Call right now, 1-800-905-8000, or visit tnusa.com/RAV, tnusa.com/RAV, or call 1-800-905-8000 and talk to our friends at Tax Network USA. They're real experts that can help. They can take the pressure off. Let Tax Network USA handle your tax issues right now. Call them 1-800-905-8000, 1-800-905-8000. Well, since Trump was sworn in, his administration has made enormous progress at a breakneck pace. But don't forget, while they're moving mountains for the good of the nation, they can't also take your personal savings into account. You have to do that for yourself. And one of the best ways to look after your savings is through diversification, particularly with gold, from our trusted friends at the Birch Gold Group. Philip Patrick was on with us, I believe, just last week. And the past 12 months, the value of gold has increased by 40%. Central banks continue to bolster demand for gold by buying it in record quantities. Global instability and tension is at the highest in decades. Birch Gold will make it easy for you to own physical gold. You can easily convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. And you can also buy some to, keep it at your home safe, keep it with you, have it on hand. All you have to do is text the word America to the number 989898, and Birch Gold will send you a free information kit on gold. There's no obligation, only useful information. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, thousands of happy customers. Take control of your savings today. Text the word America and send it to 989898. That's the word America Just text it from your mobile device to 989898 and get started with our friends from Birch Gold. 20 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. So we were talking about the Mike Davis clip. And again, unless you're going to charge seditious conspiracy, which we talked about at the warehouse on Friday. By the way, how good was the warehouse on Friday?
Oh, electric.
It
was electric.
Off the charts.
I thought it was off the charts, too.
The energy in the room was crazy.
It was really one of the best shows that I've ever been involved with in 6 years. I have to tell you, Big D, I was so impressed by the energy of the crowd and the vibe with the guys. It's something special to take in. It really is.
Now, we're not going to be there this Friday because some of the guys are gone. Yeah. Half the guys are gone, so we're not going to go with two people. So we are taking this Friday off in the warehouse because Slick's gone, Paul's gone. I think KDJ's gone, so it's just going to be Delgado and maybe Vin, although I don't even know if Vin's here. So it's we're going to have a couple of these kind of stinkers probably during the summer, so we'll try to limit them as much as we can. But we like to go to the warehouse with a full cast because that's really the only way it works.
True.
But no, Friday was great.
It was a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, good conversation.
But anyways, what we said there was the Seditious Conspiracy Act, when you read it, how is that not exactly what they tried to do? And I just think, and again, what do I know? Nothing. And it could be absolutely wrong, but I hear what Mike Davis is saying, but it just seems to me that the focus of this, if you're Pam Bondi and you're looking at this, man, it just seems to me that you have to be focused on what happened in his 4 years, especially in those last moments where Susan Rice is writing emails to herself saying, oh, yeah, buy the book, buy the book, buy the book. Mm-hmm. So when someone sees these down the line, they'll know we did it. Buy the book. And those meetings where Obama was in with everybody in there and they're talking about how Russia didn't have the intent and didn't have, no, and they didn't do it. And, of course, they changed it to try to hang an espionage case right around Trump's neck, which is what they did. So I get what he's saying, that he doesn't have presidential immunity afterwards, but I mean, what are you exactly pointing to afterwards specifically that you're going to have evidence like you have evidence of what they did in the Oval Office meetings? I don't know.
Well, if you can connect those dots, like I said, he was living down the street from the White House. Nobody's thinking that's the best place you want to spend your time after you've been president is hanging out down the street from where you used to live. He was there for a reason. We all know he was there for a reason. His attempt at running a shadow government.
I got a text.
They talked about this.
I got a text from someone said that if you think you're getting Obama or anybody Clinton like that charged, Epstein's going to come and give you his list himself before that happens. So.
We call those people ATL, above the law.
So
I don't know about that.
All right, let's do some more headlines. Rick Delgado, the greatest headlines in the world, 23 past the hour. What else do you have?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that because there are so many going on. Damon, as a matter of fact, this one, I don't know if you saw this, James O'Keefe was at it again. This time, a couple days ago, James O'Keefe, of course, of O'Keefe Media Group, dropped a bombshell on Big Pharma and Johnson & Johnson, revealing that it looks like they knew all along, Damon, that their COVID vaccine wasn't worth anything and was unsafe and ineffective. Oh. This according to one of their own regulatory scientists at the company, Joshua Rise.
Can I guess first? Is it a guy on a gay date? Trying to...
It wasn't a gay date, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Because all we see is these guys. So it's just another guy trying to get in the sack of somebody.
It was another honeypot situation, but this one happened to be male-female. Here it is, cut number 5.
That's refreshing.
Take a listen to him as he admits the vaccine was not safe and effective. Cut number 5.
Shocker.
Do you have any idea the lack of research that was done on those products?
Joe Biden says that it's safe and effective. But, he didn't know.
There's no proof. I mean, none of that stuff was safe and effective. People wanted it. Who gave it to them? It's like, all right, you know what? Cancer patient's going to die anyway. I'm sure somebody's going to get sued for that stuff eventually.
Yeah. So there he was saying that when he made the confession that Johnson & Johnson's vaccine was neither safe nor effective, he was unaware He was part of a honeypot sting operation. He thought he was just getting ice cream with a pretty girl.
Yeah, where's the date? Baskin Robbins? I mean, come on.
Pretty girl in Coney Island trying to, talk her up and, of course, take that relationship to the next level. Of course, as always, James likes to surprise his victims. Here he is, James O'Keefe, confronting the Johnson & Johnson scientist, who then tries to run away. Cut number 6. Check this out.
Are you Josh Rice from Johnson & Johnson? You're going to deny your identity?
Yes, sir.
And you said that your vaccine was not safe and effective. You said that. Where is he going? He's going to run away. He's going to the women's restroom. Are you confused?
Troll.
I am a human man. I am allowed to take a pee.
Now he's going to needle him.
You shouldn't be surprised that this happened. We have no idea. People, I got it from your mouth.
No.
Stand behind what you said and explain to us what you meant by it.
Yeah. So there you have it. James O'Keefe doing his best, exposing, all this stuff that went on. And, there's also, I've got more information on this. There's going to be some legislation that's going to be pitched, Thomas Massey, about a new bill that would let people sue Pharma for their COVID vaccine injuries.
Good.
So hopefully that'll come to fruition.
I know they've made a criminal referral on the Fed chairman today. I think Anna Paulina Luna did it, and whatever. Okay, I mean, because I guess he lied to Congress. With all due respect, where would he be on the list of people we'd like to see criminal referral who lied to Congress? Where's Fauci? I mean, really? About his new building? That's the priority? Live from Studio 6B, 26 past the hour. More to do. We're back right after this. Yeah, exactly. He'd be way down on the list.
Great point, Gary. Yes.
They're going to make criminal referrals of people who lied to Congress. I would put Jerome Powell on the price of his building. We don't want anybody lying to Congress, so I get it. But he would be way down the list of importance over going back through COVID times and thinking about, and Comey. How many times did Comey lie to Congress? How about Fauci? How about Brennan? How about Clapper? How about you could make a list of 50 people deep before you would get anywhere near, hey, Jerome Powell lied about the cost of his building. But that's the one we bring.
Big D, just backing up to Friday night's live show. Ticked Off Patriot called a good one here. Friday pre-show was awesome at Damon Roberts.
I forgot about that.
And I got several comments about how awesome the pre-show when they did the intro. They've never seen that, most of the audience, unless they've had the ability to be live, right? With us at the Joe the Box in America First. Unbelievable. I mean, it's just incredible the response we got on that.
Well, we're going to try to. We're going to try to extend that pre-show from about 20 minutes that we did to about 60 minutes.
60?
I think if Matt Miller gets that tailgate going, I may go outside and do a little tailgating too, Big D. Come on.
So, because we didn't have a lot of time the way we did it the other night to pre-show, we were kind of, because once the doors open and people are coming in, we can't really be out in, I wanted to take people around the hall. And so
but then how are we supposed to sit and relax and eat?
No, Delgado.
Pizza
Friday,
about is
eating.
We don't need.
You got to get there earlier than 6:45.
Like, look at poor Paul. He got stuck in traffic. He didn't get his favorite pizza.
You don't have to be on the whole time.
Paul, you better leave at 4 o'clock now.
You can sit in the corner and eat your little Thai chili chicken.
Well, I'm going to hide a piece for you.
It is such a battle to get there by 7 when I'm finished work at 5.
That sausage crumble pizza, I've eaten my share of pizza in my day.
With the olive vodka.
I mean, the Thai chili isn't bad, but after I have that, I'm like, okay, man, that sausage crumble, man, that's on point.
Goes down nice.
That's on point,
One day you guys are going to just...
You got a good pie there, man.
A regular slice, nothing on it, maybe pepperoni.
Kevin Cottle, Damon, you said Obama would never see cuffs. Do you think he will, Kevin? And who do you like to start with? I mean, any of them are fine.
That's not.
I think you're just being realistic about who you have. I mean, who are you gonna?
They're not cuffed.
Obama's real legacy comes into focus. J.B. Shirk today over at the American Thinker talking about Tulsi Gabbard and the documents that she released. And again, this gets to the point of where I think everybody would like to get to. Treason is a capital offense with no statute of limitations. So consider how explosive Gabbard's allegations are. The senior official in charge of all of American intelligence is stating unequivocally that Obama and his loyal subordinates sabotaged the peaceful transfer of presidential power in 2016, betrayed the American people, and made war against the legitimate government of the United States. Gabbard just dropped the mother of all bombs on Obama's White House syndicate, the intelligence community, and the globalist deep state. General Michael Flynn, President Trump's short-lived national security advisor, boy, you can see why they were so abjectly after Flynn, because they knew he'd find this in about 8 seconds. Flynn assessed the situation succinctly. This is surreal, he said. As a target of the deep state's treacherous lawfare operations, General Flynn's view the workings with supreme clarity. This is why Gabbard was attacked so relentlessly over the past few weeks and months. They knew if there were anyone with the guts to investigate this attempted coup, it would be her. Obama loyalists in the intelligence community and Obama's propaganda allies in the corporate news media succeeded in removing General Flynn from his NSA position at the beginning of Trump's first term. Perhaps learning from Flynn's experience, Gabbard has worked quickly to expose the conspirators before they could take her out as well. Who exactly formed this conspiracy to overturn the 2016 election and topple President Trump's administration? DNI Gabbard says that intelligence was politicized and weaponized by the most powerful people in the Obama administration to lay the groundwork for what was essentially a year-long coup against President Trump. If you used the word coup in 2017, in March of 17, when all of these articles were coming out about spying, when this headline came out right here, January 20th of 2017, when you saw this headline, when we talked about it, right there in red, wiretap data used in inquiry of Trump's aides, and people started to go, wait, wiretaps? What? What's this government doing? And you started to use the word spying and use the word coup. Back then, you were labeled as a right-wing conspiracy nutjob radical, and it was absolutely the appropriate term to use because that's exactly what it was. And here we are 9.5, 10 years later. That's good, Aaron. And that's exactly the words now that people are using. And this goes on. It's on our social media. But basically saying that Obama and high-ranking members of the administration, including the intelligence chiefs responsible for safeguarding the nation, fabricated evidence meant to convince the American people that Russia stole the 2016 election from Hillary Clinton. Furthermore, this cabal of conspirators fabricated evidence meant to incriminate Trump, convince Congress to remove him from office, and perhaps even convince a future jury to convict him for espionage and treason. Obama and his people damaged America's reputation in the world by pretending that Russia hacked the 2016 election. Along with Clinton and her campaign, the Obama administration defrauded the American people by squandering time and resources on a figment of their seditious imaginations. And it goes on and on and on, but I think this is where people want to be. When you think about how do you get to him, I think the only way you get to him is to make some kind of serious charge like this, which I just don't know if that's the way they're going to go.
it wouldn't be the craziest thing. Everybody's like, oh, well, they wouldn't go after a president. They already went after a president for fake stuff.
Yeah.
Remember? He's got the greatest mugshot of all time. He merged it out. They came after his home. They went through his stuff. They went through his wife's stuff.
And by the way, he reminds us here at the end that McCain, Graham, Klobuchar all traveled to Ukraine back then and held a press conference during which they claimed that Russia attacked the U.S. by hacking the 2016 election. Obama and his co-conspirators advanced an intelligence operation that could have instigated a direct U.S.-Russia war. That's not a dirty trick. That's deadly treason against the United States and the American people. So
yeah, and again, it was Obama. If anybody says, well, it was Trump. No, these were Obama's intelligence people that came to them and said, I believe it was December 8th, there's nothing here. There's no Russian interference. He didn't like that answer. He pulled it back, said and it's documented that they wanted, the president directed them to come to a different conclusion, basically. So the opposite has to be, okay, well, if there's nothing there, we have to make it look like there is something there. So it was Obama's people that ordered that made the change. Obama ordered the change, and now you've got Tulsi also saying she's got whistleblowers coming to her hot and heavy because people that were there that were disgusted, they finally feel safe enough to come forward to tell them what they know, or their fingerprints are on this, and they're like, look, this is going to be my way to try and salvage myself. I'm going to give them whatever they need.
Yeah, I'm going to sing, I want a deal.
Right.
Without a doubt. And Comey lied his butt off for you. You have the clip of him lying.
Right.
I mean, to me,
yeah. Here's.
Hold on, before you play the clip, okay. Aaron, put this up. 30 minutes ago, the White House put this out. 30 minutes ago. Oh. They came after the wrong man, it says. I was the hunted, now I'm the hunter. This is on the official White House X.
Good.
Yeah.
From 30 minutes ago.
I mean, wow. Looks like a superhero, superhero.
They came after the wrong man.
They sure did.
I was the hunted, now I'm the hunter.
So now, if you don't think that he would sign off and be like, yeah, you can go ahead and arrest him.
I just popped in my head, Melania in that V for Vendetta outfit. Remember, yes. Like she looked exactly like V for Vendetta. Like right. It just feels like, let's hope. We're 6 months in.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 months.
And there's been a lot of high moments.
Yep.
Couple disappointments, but we're 6 months in, and this economy is about to explode.
Yeah.
So here's cut number 8. Paul referenced it. Here's James Comey lying under oath about the Russians. Cut number 8. Check it out.
There should be no fuzz on this whatsoever. The Russians interfered in our election during the 2016 cycle. They did it with purpose. They did it with sophistication. They did it with overwhelming technical efforts. And it was an active measures campaign driven from the top of that government. There is no fuzz on that.
No fuzz.
It is a high confidence judgment of the entire intelligence community. And the members of this committee have seen the intelligence. It's not a close call.
Liar.
That happened. That's about as unfake as you can possibly get. And he's very, very serious, which is why it's so refreshing to see a bipartisan focus on that, because this is about America, not about any particular party.
Deep state.
Yeah.
It means deep state rhinos. I can't believe Aaron didn't blow that guy up sooner.
And then if you remember, it wasn't just the likes of Comey and Clapper and Brennan and Obama and everybody there, but you also had the media, constantly attacking President Trump. Constant. Cut number 11. Here's a little flashback for you. See what you think of this. Cut number 11. Here's the media sharing the talking points.
In on him.
Breaking news, a new bombshell.
One astrologer says this means the beginning of the end for President Donald Trump.
The beginning of the end of the Trump presidency.
Trump will resign.
Trump is going to resign.
Is this the tipping point? I know we've said it over and over.
You think this is a tipping point?
And over and over.
This is a tipping point.
And over and over.
Breaking news, President Trump off the rails.
It was the beginning of the end today.
The beginning of the end.
It reminds me a lot of the last days of Nixon.
Breaking news tonight, new bombshell.
This is the beginning, not the end.
The beginning of the end.
The walls are closing in.
The wall's closing in.
The wall's closing in. I love it.
Breaking overnight bombshell.
This is a very dramatic day, and I think it might be near a tipping point. Do you think this is a tipping point?
This is unbelievable. This is remarkable. Have you ever seen anything like this?
His presidency is crippled.
December 1st, 2017, you can mark it down. This is the day that everything changed.
We begin with the bombshell.
The beginning of the end?
The beginning of the end.
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 Looks like this is the end.
We're in the third quarter. May even be the beginning of the end.
We begin tonight with the bombshell. Donald Trump is in a lot of trouble.
Trump is in trouble.
The president will resign.
Another hour, another bombshell.
This is a tipping point.
Trump's going down.
This president could be impeached.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you have it.
There she is.
That is
Mad
so.
Max.
I find that so amusing.
That went on for another 2 minutes.
He cut it. Mad Max. Mad Max was enough.
It could have just kept going on. So you also had, let's keep in mind the media also. That's why you have so many of these people who still believe the Russian crap.
Of course.
Because they were just force-fed this night after night after night.
I can't remember the exact stats, but didn't we see that it was like 70% of lefties still believe the Russia collusion case is real?
Yeah.
It was like 75%.
I did a whole what even is that
number
on Thursday about it.
Yeah. It was an astronomical number.
Here's Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire today on this whole thing and what has to be done.
So what are you going to do, Trump administration? What are you actually going to do about this? Maybe something will happen, and I hope it does. But the pattern has always been that Republicans allege high crimes and misdemeanors only to punish precisely no one for them and to hold no one accountable in any way whatsoever. And this has to change. It has to change. Right now. Democrats just spent years trying to imprison the President of the United States for fake crimes. They pursued fake charges shamelessly and relentlessly for years. For once, Republicans should apply that kind of intensity towards pursuing Democrats, including Barack Obama, who have all clearly committed actual crimes. Enough with the tough talk. Go kick down some doors. It's time. Way past time.
And I think that's a sentiment that's shared by many.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone here.
And I noticed Mike Davis is very active on X tonight, telling everybody, relax about stop calling out the administration and Pam Bondi in the Justice Department, saying things like, this is where you're going to prove your worth. He says, chill out. They're doing their job. Justice is coming. So.
It works for me. I was saying before the Friday show, it's like almost like when you see this stuff happening, you're like, I just want to tune in 6 months and see how this all played out, because the daily grind of it is frustrating. We know the future takes such a long time, and we're all like little kids still. We want an instant gratification, but it's playing out, and I don't think.
And that's why, I hear what Mike Davis is saying every time he says this, but the problem is, like what Walsh just said, we are all kind of fixated on what the track record of Republicans have been. So it's hard to kind of get the two and say, okay, we're going to list, he's right, things are happening. And you go, well, things have never happened. So how could it be different this time? But,
Well, you know what? There's a great clip of Peter Strzok. Remember him?
Yep.
He's out there. And in some of his testimony, he was adamant. He goes, the people above me knew what was going on, and the people below, and that's what they were talking about, was this. About interfering with Trump. So in a kind of a strange way, I think he laid out some of it as well in congressional testimony. So we'll see if they use that.
All right, we'll wrap it up for a Monday right after this.
Live chat, YouTube chat, Big D. We got a super chat, $4.99 from Patty Jamcat. Are you able to show President Trump's AI of the Obama arrest? It's priceless.
It is funny.
It is funny. Yeah.
Aaron, can you throw this up, actually? I do want to hear this.
What Tulsi Gabbard has done, the DNI chief, in essence, declassifying hundreds of documents that seem to suggest that manufactured intelligence was at play here with the Obama administration regarding this Russian collusion hoax. I've heard Stephen Miller call it a seditious conspiracy. I've heard Tulsi Gabbard call it a treasonous conspiracy. You're a constitutional guy. What do you see in this exactly? How do you term it?
Well, I don't know how to summarize it by way of description in a snappy phrase, but I will tell you it is deeply problematic. And before I became Speaker of the House, I served on the House Judiciary Committee, which had jurisdiction over a lot of this. And we knew what was happening. We knew intuitively, and we were gathering the evidence as we were investigating all of this ourselves. We knew the Russia collusion thing was a hoax. They used it as a basis to attack the president mercilessly. I served on his impeachment defense teams twice. That would be unheard of in history, that a president would be impeached twice on such spurless claims. But in those processes, as we were preparing for those defenses, as we were investigating with our oversight responsibility and judiciary, we recognized that the people who are being called out now were involved in a scheme. We knew that it was a shameless, false set of accusations. And yet, they perpetuated the lie on the American people, and they looked right into the camera and just lied, clearly. And they knew what they were up to the whole time. So there must be accountability for that, because what it does ultimately, the greatest threat of all this is not just what they've done to President Trump as an individual, it's what they're doing to the institutions, even broader than that. They have diminished the people's faith in our system of justice itself, in the institution of the Department of Justice, in the institution of the FBI. And those are critical functions that are played in a constitutional republic. And so we're in the process of restoring trust and rebuilding the people's belief in our system of justice itself. And it's an extraordinary challenge that was brought about because people were involved in a sinister plot. And so there must be accountability.
You say there must be accountability. The DOJ will work on the criminal aspect of this. What's the role of the House here specifically? I mean, people want to see subpoenas, they want to see depositions, they want to see whether it be Brennan, Clapper, potential.
Building the people's belief in our system of justice itself. And it's an extraordinary challenge that was brought about because people were involved in a sinister plot. And so there must be accountability.
What a good look. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Our own David Brody, not for his work at Real America's Voice, but for his work at CBN News. By the way, David Brody put out a social media post about his daughter and what she's been going through, which we talked about when she first was diagnosed. And just our thoughts and prayers continue to be with the Brody family, and that God's watching over her, and that she will have clean results when she gets tested for her cancer to see if she's cancer-free. And she's gone through hell, but she seems like one hell of a fighter. And I know, obviously, David is as strong as they come. And he's, by the way, one of the nicest people I've ever met. When I haven't met him for a couple times, I haven't spent a ton of time with him, but so I just wanted to say that we're thinking about him and his family through all of this. He sat down with the Speaker of the House about Tulsi Gabbard's release on Friday. I don't know if this interview is from earlier today or over the weekend, but number one, whoever produced it did an A-plus job. But here's the part where he asks about accountability.
You say there must be accountability. The DOJ will work on the criminal aspect of this. What's the role of the House here specifically? I mean, people want to see subpoenas, they want to see depositions, they want to see whether it be Brennan, Clapper, potentially the former president of the United States. Are you willing to go down that route? Because a lot of people want to see some of these folks questioned under oath.
Of course. Look, I think we have a responsibility to follow the truth where it leads, and to do it in an unbiased fashion, to do effectively the opposite of what that other team did. They're engaged in a partisan political plot to take down their foe and the other party. We need to be about the rule of law and bringing order to the chaos and searching out the truth, because the American people are owed those answers. So we have some very bright, very capable, very strong leaders at Judiciary and Oversight, Chairman Jim Jordan, Chairman Jamie Comer, and the other committees that would be involved. And I do expect that whether there's a special counsel appointed, which some are suggesting, and or in conjunction with the House investigations, that we will get the answers, and there will be accountability to the extent that we're able to do that, referring people to the DOJ for prosecution and any other measure that is appropriate as we begin to uncover more of the facts.
Does it get tricky at all with the former president, President Obama, looking at what his role in this is and bringing him in for some sort of deposition, potential subpoena?
Well, listen, I mean, we have no concern about that. If it's uncomfortable for him, he shouldn't have been involved in overseeing this, which is what it appears to us has happened. There's a lot of allegations on the table. Our job is to go and follow each of those trails and to find out the truth. So those are very serious allegations with very serious implications, but we're going to have very serious people working on it, and we will get the answers.
Okay. There you go. All right, let's...
Can I ask you a question?
Let's get to everybody real quickly here. Yeah.
How much do you really trust him?
Who?
Mike Johnson.
Well, when it comes to this?
Anything. I don't believe a word he says, too, by the way. Yeah, he's on our team, great, blah, blah, blah. He's just a career guy, too. Now, if he's under Trump's thumb and Trump's got him under control, great. But I need to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's an unreasonable position on Johnson. I don't think he's been certainly, I don't know, people argue he's better than McCarthy. I'm not so sure about that. But is he better than what we've had? I don't know. He seems pretty standard operating procedure on what we've had to me.
Career guy, like you said.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I know he's operating with now it's even a smaller majority since this guy, I think, from Tennessee just resigned.
Yeah.
Mark Green.
Yep.
So now it's even a smaller majority. So, but I mean, to me, that's just an excuse. Oh, you have small majorities. Dan.
Yeah, I know. That's the frustration.
Any other news?
You said it. I have a couple of stories. Yeah, but you said it like almost identical to what Matt Walsh said. Stop talking a big game and do something about it. You know, like these things are so frustrating. So, I guess one of the stories I wanted to get to was, I don't know if you guys followed what's going on. I'm going to give the brief update, but there are a lot of BS stories in the mainstream media saying it's right-wing thugs or attacking Islamists or Muslims in Spain, who is a Christian country, because the gangs there are starting to take over and the cops will do nothing. So if you look through the news stories, I'm not going to read. I had a whole list of headlines I was going to read from all the HuffPo and Washington Post and all the BS outlets, but they're lying to you again. They're covering the story up for the most part, but the people are taken to the streets because they're sick of watching little old ladies and men be beat down and robbed by gangs. And I just wanted to get that story out there because it's disgusted me. And then the last one I want to get to is Scott Bessent demands a sweeping review of the entire Federal Reserve. Scott Bessent called out the Federal Reserve on Monday, blasting Jerome Powell's stewardship and demanding an institution-wide review of the central bank's performance, bloated bureaucracy, and disturbing deviation from its core mission. What we need to do is an entire examination of the entire Federal Reserve institution and whether or not they have been successful. If there was a Federal Aviation Administration watching this, we would and all these mistakes, we would have to go way back and look at why this happened. Bessent specifically torched the Fed and its elitist groupthink and catastrophic predictions on tariffs and inflation. He said they were fear-mongering over tariffs, and thus far we've seen very little, if any, inflation. We've had a great inflation number. As you know, I think the idea of them not being able to break out of a certain mindset, all these PhDs over there don't know what they're doing. So I wanted to squeeze those two in, but I'm sure he's got the greatest stories over there, so I want to make sure we save time for that.
Well, let's quickly hit sports, then we'll hit another headline. What else, Slick, quickly is going on in sports?
All right, real quick. Baseball scores. Nationals over the Reds 10-8, top of the ninth. Yankees down by Toronto, 4-1 up in Toronto. My accountant's there. He must be very upset. I hope it doesn't cost me more money to do my taxes this year now. And the Cubs right now trail the Royals 8-4. Real quick, over the weekend, NHRA, Langdon, Hagen, Glenn, and Herrera take huge victories at Northwest National. Nationals. This is up in Kent, Washington. Top Fuel's Sean Langdon moved past Tony Stewart into the points lead on Sunday at Pacific Raceways, defeating Brittany Force in the final round of the Muckleshoot Casino Resort NHRA Northwest Nationals. Boy, that's a mouthful. Matt Hagan, Funny Car, Dallas Glenn Pro Stock, and Cage Herrera Pro Stock Motorcycle also won the 11th of 20 races during the 2025 Mission Foods Drag Racing Series. Big D, that's a wrap in sports. Back to you.
Any other headlines, Delgado, you want to get to?
Yeah, just a real quick one here. Damon, as Dems continue their downward spiral, Democrats in Congress are facing a new low, believe it or not, in their approval ratings. According to new polling from Quinnipiac last month, they dipped to 20% approval rating, and many people wondered if it was possible for them to go even lower. Well, the news is in, and the new poll says Democrats are now at 19%. So things are getting better. Of course, Dems decried the poll and said it was not an accurate description of just how much they really hate the American people. So there you have it from the Democratic downward spiral about their popularity or lack thereof.
They're about on pace with the media at this point, I would figure.
Yeah, pretty much. And one last quick one. I don't know if you're into health at all. New York Health headline, Northwell Health offers a new FDA-approved drug that aims to reduce transmission of HIV/AIDS. The drug is called Yeztugo. But you may not have known there's an older remedy that reduces the transmission of AIDS. It's called Don't Have Sex with People with AIDS. There, you're welcome. And that's the news.
34.
The only headline I didn't get to.
I'm glad I get you.
That I wanted to.
Somebody does.
Was
you complete me.
Also what came out today, by the way, speaking of all these criminals and what they did back then, James Comey's FBI did not probe Clinton's mishandling of classified information, Justice Department IG said. So even, forget Comey that no reasonable prosecutor, after he made the case for 10 minutes on why she should be in an orange jumpsuit, then to tell us no reasonable prosecutor. Now we find out they let her off the hook even more than we knew they did. So we'll discuss this tomorrow. As always, we salute our military, active and inactive, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us, all our truckers, all our farmers. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron Fran, great job as always. Most of all, thank you to live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. right back here live from Studio 6B.